What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the PT Cube podcast, where we bring together strength, rehab, and performance. I'm your host, Dr. Nate Karam, physical therapist, strength coach, and the guy who believes that your potential goes way beyond what you're currently settling for. This show is all about helping active individuals just like you cut through the noise, train smarter, stay injury-free, and of course, optimize your performance, whether you're in the gym, on the field, or just trying to feel better moving through life. Along the way, I'll be bringing on top experts, from physical therapists and strength coaches to athletes, nutritionists, performance specialists, professors, you name it. So you get real evidence-based strategies straight from the best in the game. We're going to be breaking down training, injury prevention, rehab, nutrition, and of course the science behind building a resilient, high-performing body. All in a way that's simple, no BS, and built for busy, driven people who want real results. All right. Welcome back, guys. Today, we're going to be talking about protein, the power macro molecule, the one everyone loves, our favorite macro, protein. So most people think protein is just about building muscle, but the truth is, protein plays a role in so much more. Your hormones, your immune system, recovery after injury, even your metabolism. Today, I'm going to be breaking down protein in a way that makes sense. What it is, what it does in the body, how much you actually need, how to supplement without wasting money, and one of the biggest myths out there, that you can't build muscle on a vegan diet. And stick around because I've got two big guest episodes coming up. This month, Ryan Gardner, the CEO of Bucked Up, will be joining me on the show. And next month, my friend John, the Bodybuilding Vegan on Instagram, with almost 100,000 followers, will be here to show you how he's built serious muscle on a fully plant-based diet. Let's get into it. So what is protein? Protein is one of the three macronutrients. You've got carbs, fat, and protein. It's made up of amino acids, which are the building blocks of life. Some are essential, meaning you have to get them from your food, but others are non-essential, meaning your body can make them. Proteins aren't just in your muscles, though. They're in your enzymes, your hormones, your antibodies, and they provide structure through collagen in your joints and also keratin in your hair and nails. Without enough protein, your body can't repair, recover, or build effectively. So, how much protein do you actually need? Well, here's where a lot of people get confused. The RDA, or recommended dietary allowance, which is the average daily level of intake of a nutrient that's sufficient to meet the nutrient requirements of nearly all healthy people in a particular stage, gender, group, what have you, says 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight, which is absurdly low. That's just the minimum to avoid deficiency, not to maximize performance. So when you see those numbers, those recommendations, that's basically like to keep you alive, not to optimize your performance. So for active individuals, the evidence is very clear. The sweet spot is 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. That's double or even triple the RDA, which is a little shocking. Older adults also benefit from higher intakes to prevent sarcopenia, or age-related muscle loss. And here's part of the problem. Nutrition labels can really skew your perception of protein. When you look at the back of a food label and the percent daily value says 0.8 grams per kilogram, I mean, like I just said, this is way too low for anyone who trains, wants to build muscle, or just stay strong as they age. So you'll see a food marketed as having 30%, for example, of your daily protein intake, when in reality, if you're active, that's maybe only 10% of what you actually need. But if you're reading the nutrition label and you don't understand what RDA means and what it's referring to, you might think, oh, cool, I just got 30% of my protein for the day. No, not if you're trying to build muscle. So let me give you some simple examples. 3 whole eggs gives you about 18 grams of protein and around 1.5 grams of leucine, and we're going to get to leucine soon. Add in a cup of Greek yogurt and you're closer to 30 grams of protein with enough leucine to hit that muscle building threshold. A scoop of buck feed whey, now that's some bucked up protein, we'll talk about that later as well, about 25 grams of protein with over 2.5 grams of leucine in just one shake. That's how you build meals and snacks that actually count. You add all that up, you're looking at more than a standard dinner meal. So in order to understand the makeup of protein, we're going to have to understand what the branch chain amino acids are. And of course, the leucine effect, why we love that leucine. So before we zoom in on leucine, we're going to back up and talk about BCAAs. You've probably seen these all over the place. You've seen them marketed individually as supplementation. These are basically three specific essential amino acids. You've got leucine, isoleucine, and valine. And they're called branch chain because some of their unique chemical structure, but what makes them special is how they're used in the body. So unlike most amino acids, which are primarily metabolized in the liver, BCAAs are largely metabolized in skeletal muscle. That means they play a direct role in fueling exercise, and more importantly, in recovery and muscle repair. Now, out of the three, leucine is our MVP. Leucine is the ignition key for muscle growth. It activates the mTOR pathway, which you don't really need to understand here, but that's essentially the command center for muscle protein synthesis. And without enough leucine, that switch doesn't fully flip. Even if you've eaten plenty of total protein, it really, really matters the makeup of that protein. So, research shows that the threshold is about 2 to 3 grams of leucine per meal. It's Norton et al. From 2009, which usually means 20 to 40 grams of high quality protein. Whey protein is naturally rich in leucine, which is why it's such an effective post workout option. Now, a lot of people wonder, what is whey? What is casein? What is all this, these different names that you see in front of your protein? Well, let me break it down for you really quick between the main two, whey and casein. So, whey protein has fast digestion, absorption speed. It's up, it's fast, it's quick. It enters the bloodstream quickly. The leucine content is high. So, that makes it great at triggering muscle protein synthesis, MPS, right after training. And this is best used for post-workout shakes or anytime you need a quick protein hit, like on the go, between meals. This is kind of your standard protein that you see in most protein products that are used as snacks, shakes, protein powders. It's definitely the most popular. It's very smooth, blends well into shakes, makes it the popular status that it has. So think of it as your fast fuel. Spikes amino acid levels quickly, flips that switch, then tapers off. Now, casein protein has an absorption speed that it's slow digesting. It kind of forms like a gel in the stomach, and it releases amino acids steadily for many hours. Has low leucine content, lower than whey, but still complete. And it's best for before bed. So it kind of provides a steady drip of amino acids overnight. That's its claim to fame there, or as a meal replacement. Because you have those amino acids kind of slowly dripping in throughout the day. Now it's thicker, it's creamier, works well in more of like puddings or recipes, not so much like a nice, easy to blend shake. So most people go with whey. So basically, your key takeaways: whey, fast, anabolic trigger, great for post workouts. Casein, slow, anti-catabolic buffer, really good for things like right before sleep. Both high quality, both complete, but just difference in timing and absorption speed. That's all. Now, first off, do you need protein powder? Not if you're already hitting your daily intake with food. But for most people with work, training, busy schedules, hitting those targets is not always easy. If you're working 60 plus hours a week and barely finding the time to get in meals, this is probably for you, right? So here's what makes protein so special. Protein powders, they're a tool, they're not a crutch. But what makes a protein a good protein powder is complete amino acid profile. It should be rich in leucine, at least 2 to 3 grams per serving, low in fillers and junk, and actually tastes good, because consistency matters, right, guys? I've talked about this a million times. If it's easy, if it's attractive, if it's, insert all of the atomic habits things here, but really, it applies to everything. So if you enjoy it, you're going to keep using it, and you have to use it every day. So that's exactly why I recommend Bucked Up Buck Feed Whey. This is the protein that I've been using for years now, and it checks all 4 boxes. It's evidence-based. It delivers a complete amino acid profile. It's leucine rich, so you're actually hitting that muscle protein synthesis threshold. It's clean with no gimmicks, no proprietary blends, and it tastes good enough that you'll actually use it consistently. And again, the research backs it up. A meta-analysis in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that whey protein supplementation significantly enhanced lean muscle and strength gains when paired with resistance training compared to a placebo group. That's Cermak et al. 2012. And here's the exciting part. This month, I'm going to be sitting down with Ryan Gardner, like I said, the CEO of Bucked Up. Not just anybody, the dude who runs the whole company, right? And he's going to be talking about their approach to quality, the supplement industry, and where things are headed, as well as his journey through entrepreneurship and growing a brand. So not only am I recommending buck feed whey because it matches the science, but you're also going to get to hear directly from the man behind the entire brand. And if you use code NBK32 at checkout, you get 20% off. So I'm only hearing pluses here. I think you guys should try that bucked up whey protein, buck feed. Now, pivoting here a little bit, we're going to debunk a myth. So I've already told you about both of our guest speakers coming up, and now I want to really highlight that second one. Let's clear up one of the biggest misconceptions. You can't build muscle on a vegan diet. I'm sure you've heard that plenty of times before, and I'll tell you, I've got a friend who is here to tell you otherwise, and that's John the Bodybuilding Vegan. So John has been a bodybuilder for over a decade now, and he is purely vegan. He's gotten there all the way with plant-based protein, and I'm going to tell you how. A 2023 systematic review of meta-analysis in critical reviews in food science and nutrition found no differences in muscle strength or mass between plant and animal proteins when the total daily intake was matched. That's Messina et al. 2023. So yes, some single plant proteins are lower in certain amino acids. P is lower in methionine. I might have butchered that one. Rice is lower in leucine. But when you combine them, pea plus rice or soy blends, you get a profile nearly identical to whey. So basically, on an individual level, maybe not so much, but these blends combine different plant proteins to create a combination that is almost identical in composition to whey protein, which is, the gold standard. A 2020 review in Nutrients showed that soy and pea proteins can stimulate muscle protein synthesis on par with whey when matched for leucine. That is Van Vliet et al. 2015. And a 2022 position stand from the Journal of International Society of Sports Nutrition emphasized that plant-based athletes can achieve the same outcomes as omnivores when intake and distribution are properly planned. That is Jaeger et al. 2022. So essentially, plant proteins aren't inferior. They just require more strategy, which is why I'm so excited for next month when my friend John, the Bodybuilding Vegan, will be here on the podcast, which, this guy is living proof of the research, and he's going to break down exactly how he thrives off a plant-based approach. So I think that's going to be a really cool episode for you guys. All right, now another myth buster here. Another myth I hear all the time is that eating too much protein is bad for your kidneys, right? Protein and kidneys got this bad relationship. Well, that's only true if you already have kidney disease. But in healthy individuals, high-protein diets have been studied extensively, and they show no negative effects on kidney function. A review in the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism concluded that there is no evidence linking high-protein intake to kidney damage in healthy people. That is Martin et al. 2005. So if you are active and healthy, hitting the ranges we've been talking about is not just safe, it's beneficial. So what are the practical takeaways, right? How do we wrap this up, guys? How do we make this practical, make it applicable to your life? Here's the bottom line. You want to aim for about 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein if you're active. Yes, we're using American terms this time, not those weird British kilograms. Spread that across 3 to 5 meals or snacks per day. Prioritize food first, of course, but use supplements like bucked up buck feed whey for convenience. And if you're plant-based, look for blends that give you a complete amino acid profile and enough leucine. That's all you got to do. Hit those marks. Get a combination, get your leucine. And here's one more thing. Protein isn't just for athletes, guys. As we age, protein becomes even more important. Higher protein intake helps prevent sarcopenia. Like I said, that muscle breakdown, that natural process with aging, you can slow that down. Improves recovery from illness or injury. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? It has healing properties, literally, and supports independence later in life, which is so important, guys. That's a core of my role in physical therapy, trying to help these people. You can only do so much physically with your body. It helps to supplement also. So add those extra factors. If you want to age strong, mobile, and resilient, protein has to be a non-negotiable part of your diet, guys. I promise you. So all in all, protein isn't just about muscles. It's about health, recovery, and longevity. Whether you get it from whey, like bucked up buck feed whey, or from a plant-based protein, the principles are all the same. Hit your daily intake, hit your leucine thresholds, and spread it across the day. And of course, guys, make sure you're subscribed because this month, Ryan Gardner, CEO of Bucked Up, is coming on this podcast to talk about all things supplements and quality. And next month, John, the Bodybuilding Vegan, will join me to show you exactly how he's built serious muscle on plants. If today's episode helped clear up confusion around protein, please share it with a friend who still thinks that more shakes automatically mean more gains. All right, that's a wrap for today's episode of the PT Cube podcast, where we break down all things strength, rehab, and performance. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you've got value from this episode, do me a favor, hit that follow button, leave a quick rating or review, and share this episode with someone who's ready to take their training, rehab, or health to the next level. If you want to dive deeper, head over to ptcubed.com. That's ptcubed.com. That is where you'll find my complete guidebooks on strength training, injury prevention, and nutrition, all designed to help you perform at your best. And if you've got questions, feedback, or just want to connect, please shoot me an email at natekaram@ptcubed.com. That's natekaram@ptcubed.com. I love hearing from you guys, and I always do my best to point you in the right direction, whether it's training, rehab, or just building a stronger mindset. You can also follow along on Instagram at ptcubed for daily tips, coaching insights, and a behind-the-scenes look at how I help people just like you stay strong, stay moving, and stay dialed in. And today in particular would be a great time to go check out my Instagram, because I just dropped a big compilation of testimonial videos from a bunch of my recent clients. We just hit our 3-month anniversary working together. Guys, I'm so excited. If you really want to change your life, fix your mindset, get your eating in check, get your workouts in check, come check out my coaching. I'd love to hop on a consult call, free call. Just come on and talk to me about your goals. I want to hear about what you want to accomplish, and maybe if it's a good fit for you, we can start some coaching together. I'd love to have you. So thanks again for listening, guys, and as always, strength, rehab, performance. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.